The Nigerian Stock Exchange, the all-share index climbed higher at the close of trading yesterday, appreciating by 1.12% to 33,708 points, compared with the depreciation of 0.25% recorded at the previous sessions. Year-to-date return currently stands at 20.1%. The rise in the index was as a result of the gains recorded in the share prices of Dangote Cement, Nigerian Breweries, FBN Holdings, GT Bank, Nestle. The market capitalization also recorded a gain of 0.12% in value to close at 10.79 trillion naira, compared with the depreciation of 0.25 recorded yesterday. Now, the naira closed yesterday at 157.38 to the US dollar. And now for a look at how the market played out today and to give us some insight into what to expect as the week winds down, I am joined by Linus Iwuajoku, who is the head research market intelligence at Diamond Bank. Linus, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you too.
Great. Now, this is, of course, very exciting times for long-term investors in Nestle Nigeria. This time last year, for example, the stock was trading at 441 naira. Do you think we may start to see a period of profit taking in the stock, considering the price some investors bought that stock?
Yeah, I think so completely, because looking at Nestle and their fundamentals and being one of the top blue chip companies in Nigeria, and looking at by this time last year, the stock was selling around 440 naira. And as a close of business yesterday, it had jumped to about 981 naira. So this has been a significant capital appreciation. So we may begin to see, long-term investors begin to reap the benefits, having logged in, into the stock, late last year. And taking profit at this stage for them, we might be the best option for them. Even though when we look at the possibility of Nestle paying about 18.50 kobo for the close of financial year 2012. However, some of them may want to take the dividend of 18.50 and still sell later, because they will still be making a lot of money. But for long-term investors, they also have the option of waiting after the markdown and see whether they can re-enter the stock when the price trends down a little bit. So I see most of the long-term investors taking profits at this very time.
Okay, now for investors who are looking to actually buy this stock now, is it too late?
I think it's too late, because a lot of analysts believe that for the stock selling at 981, and there is a high possibility at the close of trading today, we may see Nestle crossing the 1,000 naira mark. And if that happens, I think it's relatively expensive for people to enter now. And I do not see any significant capital appreciation, in the next few months. So entering it now for new investors, I think it's a little bit too late.
Absolutely. Now, I think the question on the minds of most investors holding this stock is, can it continue to attract this level of demand? What are your thoughts?
Well, the demand that we have seen for Nestle, stock in the last couple of months, and is actually because, Nestle is a very strong company with very good, fundamentals. And looking at the outlook for the company for 2013, we are seeing a strong, trade earnings. We are seeing strong earnings per share and improved capital efficiency. But be that as it may, I do not think the level of demand that the stock have attracted in the last month, but I don't think we are going to see that in the coming days, because we see a situation where the stock price will begin to trend downwards after the markdown and after people begin to sell down their holdings to take advantage of a significant capital appreciation that we have seen in that stock. So the demand for it might likely not be as bullish as before.
Okay, but I mean, what about in the short term? Because, for example, we had some reports yesterday that the stock actually went up as high as 999.95. So I think a lot of people are waiting to see if that stock would actually push, past that 1,000 naira mark. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, from the look of things, it will likely cross the 1,000 naira mark. For the short-term players, Nestle is not a stock for, for people who are speculating. It is actually a stock for long-term, players. But for people who are even keen in, as I yesterday and probably today, want to take advantage of the 18.50 kobo dividend that already been proposed, by Nestle. But by the time the stock is marked down in May, then we might begin to see exit of especially those short-term players, and will not be left with only the long-term players in a Nestle stock.
Okay, now after yesterday's session, we also got a sense that the market rally is about to gather some fresh momentum. Do you see the current growth trend sustained?
Absolutely, I think so. If you look at the stock market performance, in the last 1 year, as of last year, recorded about 35% growth. And this year alone, we have seen the stock returning as high as 15 to 16%, which is, absolutely the best, across the major markets of the world. And looking at the Nigerian stock and what is actually responsible for driving the performance of the stock market that we have seen, the fundamentals are very strong. They are not driven by the same factors, that we saw in 2007, 2008, where we witnessed a lot of market abuse, market manipulation, and insider dealings. But right now, we are seeing the market driven largely by strong fundamentals, and also looking at the reforms that have been carried out by the NSC and the Nigerian Stock Exchange Management. The introduction of the market makers. The market is still attractive, both to local and international institutional investors. Now we are beginning to also see, the return of retail traders that have abandoned the market after what happened to them when the market, collapsed significantly in 2008 and 2009, and also looking at the likely introduction of other investment options into the market, like futures, like options, like derivatives, and retail bond trading. All this in both way for the market. And if you also look at it as all these are underpinned under a very strong macroeconomic fundamentals. And in terms of evaluation of companies, especially for the banks, all this potential much positive for the market. So I see the market sustaining the current level into the near terms. I do not see the market coming down below what we have seen now. As a matter of fact, we are forecasting that the market will likely return about 20% growth in 2013.